Welcome to Modern Goddess. Here we discuss everything mastering your mindset, wellness wisdom, upgrading your relationships so that you can unleash your divine goddess essence and live your authentic best self every single day. I'm your host, Cassie Aurora. Well, hello, welcome back to the podcast, and I'm very excited to bring you today's episode because I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite things, which I'm very happy you're joining me for, and it's just going to get you started on the very basics of astrological, or rather planetary magic, because using the planets and using astral magic actually can help you really focus on how to manifest easier, to manifest more quickly, can really focus your energy. And I do believe ritual is a great way of bringing yourself back into alignment. And so we're going to kind of dive into that today. I think it's important that you remember that the only way to manifest really effortlessly throughout your whole life is to be in a position where you literally live in a state of vibration which is a match to that which you want to attract. But sometimes, in this modern life, it really helps to have ritual. It helps to be able to take a step back. And personally, I love ritual. I love getting together with my friends and doing like a full moon ritual, a goddess ritual. I have gone months and months and months without doing a ritual, without praying to a planet. But I've also done years and years and years of psychotherapy. And whenever things are slowing down, I can always look at the discrepancies in my life, maybe my inner kind of emotions that are coming up, or a place in my life, whether it's mind, spirit, body, environment, one of those pillars that maybe is a bit wobbly, that something is not as it should be. I'm not being my best self, or there's something going on around me which ultimately is a reflection of me, and that helps me to anchor and center inwards. And so really astrological magic is a great way to refocus. I love it personally just as something a bit like a ritualistic kind of religion thing, and yet I don't rely on it. Sometimes we think we're placing the power outside of ourselves, and yet astrology actually shows you that the way to be empowered is directly through you and your own action, but it shows you what those blockages are. It's kind of like a roadmap to instant, effortless abundance. If you can't attract love, it will go, well, this is why. If you can't attract the right clients, if you're not following your purpose, astrology will very quickly reveal this. So before we get in today's podcast, just a quick update for you. I have just a few spots left for you to book your year ahead readings. Now, I'm actually offering a promotion on anyone that books a year ahead reading with me, where you will get the Astrology of 2021 webinar, which is 3 hours worth of content. I will actually throw that in for you free. So if you want to get the Astrology of 2021 webinar, which is worth $30, it's 3 hours of content. If you want that free, then book my promotional year ahead readings. They are fantastic. Last year, so many people commented throughout the year how it was actually playing out for them. I remember, someone was very specific in that something would happen perhaps with a small pet, and it did around the time I said, and it just helped them be more mentally prepared. A lot of people didn't plan certain things based on their reading as just precautions, and it was actually the best thing. They didn't lose out on money. A lot of people timed it based on this reading, as in their business stuff, and were very, very successful. So these year ahead readings are personal to you. You cannot get closer than that. This is your energy, and these are a really low investment. I actually think they're at tremendous value, and you'll have them to listen back to all the way through the year alongside that 2021 webinar. So please, if you would like to book one, make sure you book in the next week or so, because last year excuse me, I had tons of you book, and I have had to cap it this year and limit it. So if you want to do that for yourself, if you think actually I'd really love to give this as a gift, then this would be a great shout for you. I definitely thought it was a great gift, and I often buy my partner readings for special events like his birthday, not from me because he kind of doesn't seem as special if I buy it from me, but he'll always ask me to look, and you know, they're wonderful gifts, aren't they? So if you've had that in mind, there you go. Christmas sorted. In other news, I am absolutely obsessed with the doTERRA limited edition oils. Every December I go a bit crazy on doTERRA and stock up on the Holiday Joy blend and the Holiday Peace blend. And they've got a new one called Festive Breeze. Oh my god, I'm like seriously obsessed. And the Christmas limited edition gifts are insane. So I'm actually just extending the offer to anyone who listens to my podcast who is interested in getting these limited edition Christmas essential oils. You've always wanted doTERRA but you're perhaps not sure, reach out to me or listen back to the podcast Essential Oils 101, and then we can hook up a little Zoom chat and we can get you some of those precious gorgeous oils. I don't talk about them a lot, but I use them every single day. Headaches, coughs and colds, I don't get them because my oils are literally an instant fix. And the Christmas ones are just gorgeous. My house smells lovely and festive, but with none of the toxins. I use Holiday Joy in the morning when I want to like feel uplifted, because it has it's more uplifting. It doesn't send you bonkers, but it's just a really nice one for when you just need that oomph. And then I use Holiday Peace at night because it has vetiver and more relaxing tree essences, so it's very grounding. And I've just ordered, there's like a Serenity linen mist which I'm going to have like for spraying around the room when I'm in labour to really relax me and the baby. So, and that Serenity linen mist retails at like £10. It's nothing. So I was like, this is such a good present to buy for people. So I'm going a bit crazy. So if anyone would like to get their hands on the doTERRA Christmas beautiful things, the gift collection is just amazing. And please just reach out, email me hello@cassieaurora.com, or reach out to me on Instagram. I would love to help you out with the doTERRA oils. They're just fantastic. And there's a couple of ways we can do that, which will try and keep the cost down for you, and make it nice and simple so you have them in the next few weeks. So you have a lovely festive smelling home, which is ultimately, why wouldn't you want a festive smelling home? But yeah, I love these oils. So anyway, let's dive on in. And I want to just start with the very basics of astrological magic, remembering everything I've said before. It's really about like ritual, it's not it doesn't mean that you need to use the planets to use magic. You're making magic all the time. Your future is an open byway, and the journey is not set in stone. It's really up to you how you're vibrating now as to what future you attract in. So absolutely, if you're an entrepreneur and you're kind of worried about the future of your business, in that you're not sure what the next direction is, you feel cloudy, you're not sure if it's even what you're supposed to do, and as a result you kind of land clients but you can't seem to break through to the next level. This is all about your inner vibration. Astrology can help you with that. If you're someone who is in a relationship and you feel foggy and cloudy, you are in fear that they'll leave, or you have abandonment issues, this is something that I have to work on a lot for me. I say work on, it's something that I just spend 5 minutes on each morning, and I've kind of got the relationship in my dreams. But trust me, I had to work hard for that, because every relationship before that stunk, and it was a reflection of me. Astrological magic and astrology can help you with this, to refocus your energy. If you're someone who wants to work on your health, astrological magic can really help you. Basically anything. And it can get really intricate. I'm actually going to do a webinar on this in January, on the 9th of January. So this webinar is free to all my astrology school students. If you're not in astrology school, you can still join it just for a small investment, and join us. And I'm gonna teach you a lot more about really how to use astrological magic, at least the basics. And think of today as like the very, very basics. But I just really hope that it helps you, because in your own astrological chart, and this is where we can use astro magic much more intelligently, you'll have parts of your chart that are really easy and other parts that are more difficult. And sometimes we can work with the difficult parts to strengthen them and really work with the gifted parts to get things easier. So this is why I love astrological magic, for many reasons. And when I worked with the planet, specifically Venus was the planet I had to work on a lot. I actually bought a talisman. I spent a lot of time meditating, channeling Venus, connecting with the planet Venus, which I know might sound obscure, but it really helped me in many ways. Venus is the feminine. I think working with it was a bit like working with an archetype. Like some people work with goddesses or guides or plant medicine. Some people work with tarot cards or with certain herbs, essential oils. But for me, working with the planets, I can connect deeper and I can get into the vibration that I need, if that makes sense. So I had a lot of fertility issues. I had some things around relationship which were troubling me, not necessarily horrendous. I wasn't affecting free will. You shouldn't have to try really hard at a relationship. If you're forcing it, sometimes when you're like doing magic every day, that's probably not the right relationship. And of course, when we start affecting people's free will, that is when we need to step back. That is not how I believe magic should be used. But that's a different conversation altogether. But I actually used Venus, got a talisman and prayed to Venus and asked for very specific things. And when you use planets such as Venus, which is a great planet to use for money, as we'll go into, you need to be specific, because planets know that you reincarnate. So they'll be like, cool, and they might bring what you want 2 lifetimes down the line. And actually, if you want it now or what month, you need to be very specific. Venus has never, ever, ever let me down. She really just brings you things. So if she doesn't, there's a higher purpose and there's something better in store. She's a kind planet. So anyway, I want to dive into the basics and keep it brief. So today I'm going to say what days you can plan certain activities, meditations, rituals towards what certain type of thing. Some of you might know this, but I encourage you to listen anyway, because just listening will vibrationally move you into alignment a little bit more with just the essence of magic. So the wise never tire of hearing the truth. So if you've heard it before, listen again, and you never know, it might make you feel a new passion, or you might just hear something in a different way. So Monday is the day of the moon, moon day, and the colour you can wear is sort of, you can go with moonstone and kind of off-white pearly colours. Pearl is what I mainly associate with the moon. And when I knew that I was going to have a baby, because of my astrology and because of my work with Venus, I started to see a lot of pearls. I was given a pearl in a deep meditation by this crab spirit, so I just kind of knew what that meant. Moon can be a great time to do spells on a Monday, a moon day. I would do spells around emotions, letting go of old emotions, spells around health, particularly feminine health, spells around your maternal line, the mother wound, and you as a mother, and preferably doing it on the hour of the moon. Now, if you're not sure, you can literally Google how to do hour, like which planetary hour is on Monday for the moon, and you can see it. I would always, it's complicated, but I literally have an app that tells me because I'm that lazy. But you don't need to always stick to the hour. This is just a theory that strengthens it. Now, just as a rule of thumb, when you are using the moon as planetary, and we can go really, really deep into this, but let's just keep it as basic. If you want something to grow, then you want to do the spell between new moon to full moon when the moon is waxing. You do not want to do it from full moon to new moon. That is when the moon is waning. That is the time for letting go. So things you want to grow, planting seeds, projects, maternal relationships, things like developing health. You would want to do that when the moon is moving to full. And if you were trying to let go of health issues, to let go of old emotions, to let go of karma around the mother or some pattern around you and your way of mothering, then that's a wonderful time to let go, is between full moon to new moon when the moon is waning. So just remember that. And, we can go deeper into the correspondences and such things, but we'll do that in the webinar. But I would say just as long as you have something that reminds you of the moon, can be personal to you, and it's on a Monday, you're strengthening the energy already. So a Tuesday is a day for spells to do with Mars. Mars is to do with our male energy, can be to do with sexuality. It is to do with drive, ambition, entrepreneurs. Tuesday is the day of Mars. Mars rules entrepreneurs. It can be to do with physical endeavors and feats, having stamina for projects. So the color is red, and you would think about red gemstones, wearing red clothes, and doing the spell on the hour of Mars. When I was doing a lot of work with Mars retrograde to help my Mars, because I knew Mars was going to affect my physical health, because Scorpios and Aries, you need to work with Mars a little bit more if it's in a troublesome place in your chart. I used Mars incense as well. Star Child does Mars incense, and I use that. The same as you can get moon incense, by the way, sorry. And I'll just backtrack. Moon is a great day on a Monday to work with clairvoyance and psychic stuff. Can't believe I forgot that. Well done, Cassie. This is what happens when I don't have notes. But yeah, Mars is the day really for entrepreneurs and planning and taking action. So working with Mars when it's retrograde, thankfully we've missed that. Probably could have given you this podcast maybe when Mars was retrograde, but sorry guys. But just whenever you feel like you need a boost in energy, drive, work with Mars on a Tuesday. All right. So, by the way, if you're a Cancer or you have Cancer moon, then Monday you might want to work more with the moon. Mars, it's more Scorpios and Aries people, or people with a weak Mars. Now, Wednesday is Mercury Day. If you are Virgo or Gemini, you can benefit from working with this energy. But if you're someone who kind of can't be organized or is trying to learn a new skill, you struggle to learn, you want to learn a language, you want to learn new information, you can't get yourself in order. Also, if you are struggling with finance, Mercury can be a good one to strengthen. Or if you have any dental issues or lung issues, you can work with Mercury. So Mercury, the colour I like to associate with Mercury is green. And you can do lots of lovely things with Mercury. But the main thing, the hour of Mercury, and whenever there's a Mercury retrograde, you could use Mercury spells. And it's also good for travel. So if you're trying to manifest travel, say you've got a trip booked, I've got a trip booked, and I'm just praying that, we are going to be able to travel. So I will pray to Mercury, and I will do a lot of work with Mercury to hope that happens and resolves as it should. And so Wednesday is the Mercury day. And if you've got a Mercury retrograde in your chart, a weak Mercury, you find it hard to make decisions and learn well, Mercury is a great planet for you to work with. There's a lot more to Mercury, but for now that will do. All right, so Thursday. Now, Thursday is the day of Jupiter. The colour is orange, and Jupiter is the planet of abundance as well. It is. So is Venus. But Jupiter is also wisdom, gurus, philosophy, truth, it's expansion. So if you want to work on your business and really expand your business, feel like you have less restriction in your life and more openness and gifts, and it's like a Santa Claus energy. So something specific might be, I want more clients, I want more community, I want to be able to help more people and reach more people. Jupiter is the one. If you're looking for the right guru or teacher to appear, work with Jupiter. There's a lot more you can work with Jupiter with, and I'll discuss this in the webinar, but just know for now, Jupiter is the orange planet of abundance, and it's the one that's connected with truth and wisdom and clarity. And if you're in a situation where perhaps you're in a difficult life situation, romantic situation, you could work with Jupiter and ask for clarity and wisdom and the outcome to be of good for all. So Friday is the day of Venus. So the colours for Venus are pure white. Some people say pink. Personally, I like pure white. But I also have a rose quartz stone, which is my Venus talisman, and I associate it with flowers and everything feminine. And this is the day you would do spells for love. Surprise there. Femininity, pleasure, attraction, feminine health. So if you're struggling with fertility like I was, work with Venus. For money and abundance, especially in your business, especially if it's a female-centered business, to help your female relationships. I actually did a post on my Instagram about ways you can use Venus specifically for your business revenue to increase your income. But generally, Venus is just a great all-rounder, in my opinion. And Friday, you would want to use the Hour of Venus, and you could even do it with a group of women. I absolutely think that Venus is one of the planets that, for some reason, when you work with it, it just gives and gives. So that's the Friday, Venus day. Now, it's also great for money, by the way. I think I forgot that. There are essential oils that you can use for all of these, but I really love for Venus just simple rose. I used doTERRA rose, the roller blend, and I think it's just fantastic. But anything floral, patchouli, fantastic. Alright, so Saturn is Saturn, and this is the one you want to use for situations where you need more work ethic, you're struggling to be focused, you need more discipline, you need to really knuckle down and get stuff done, where you perhaps are having issues with authority, older people, karma issues. These are the things you would want to work with Saturn on. Saturn is a difficult planet, and yet his rings are melting away, which I think rings are boundaries, and in science, physically his rings are melting away. We're seeing that he had, we've discovered 20 moons for him, new moons. Moons represent emotions. So I think Saturn is changing as we change, and so to work on your own self-restrictions, if you have restrictive self patterns, limiting beliefs, Saturn is the one to work with. And the colour is black. So I wear a lot of black because my Saturn is weak. You'll notice that about me, but that's how I strengthen it. And, there's actually a blend you can get from Star Child, again, a Saturn blend, and certain oils help. I really love vetiver, cedarwood, those kind of grounding, earthy oils. They are really great ones to work with as you're working with Saturn. Sunday, last but not least, Sunday is ruled by the sun, and it's the colours yellow and gold, I think. And I would use this day to use spells for leadership, for being recognised, for being seen, for creativity, for enhanced creative skills, for feeling like I can express myself better, for confidence, for developing my solar plexus, helping, my digestion sometimes, for anywhere in my life that needs some like buoying. I would use the sun for that. I would not do it in Libra season personally because the sun is debilitated. It's a really great time when the sun is in a fire sign, especially Aries, but to work with the sun is a really great one. And definitely to help with any male figures in your life, you can work with the sun. So I hope that all of those days make sense, and this is just such a basic intro, but I think sometimes the basics are so powerful, and hopefully it's given you some food for thought. I would love to know, and I know some of you, if you haven't done astrology school, you don't know much astrology, won't know what planets are weak and need working with, but I would love you to email me and instinctively let me know kind of what day, what spells, what planets feel good to you, and I'll respond because I really love hearing from you guys. I loved it when you all sent me your ascendants and your house placements. I thought that was so cool. And just to let you know, my next round of No BS Astrology School opens up in January. This is 6 weeks of astrology made simple. You can read testimonials on my website and how much people loved this course. From 6 weeks, you go from knowing not much astrology or a little bit to being able to read a chart like a pro. This can help you in your business, your family, can help you just generally in your life, or is a great first step if you want to use astrology to help coach others or add to your spiritual kind of offerings. So please, if you would like to be on that round of astrology school, I'm not running it until late 2021 because of the baby, so it really is your last chance to jump on it for early 2021. You can be reading by mid-Feb. It's a wonderful community. You get all the webinars free. It's 6 weeks. Everything is recorded. You have the content forever, and you really can enjoy learning astrology in a simple, practical, non-complicated way. So if you want to be on that, message me hello@cassieaurora.com, because I've got a wait list because I don't want too many people on the course, and you can sign up to the wait list. And if you want to ask me any questions, that's the place, on Instagram or dropping me an email. So really hope you've enjoyed this podcast. If you know someone that's a witchy woo-wah and they love to get into the woo-woo, then absolutely send them this podcast. And this is just 1% of a vast way you can use all these archetypes to create more abundance, love, joy in your life. So take it or leave it. I hope you've enjoyed and have the best week, and I cannot wait to hear from you. And remember, if you do want to book yourself a year ahead reading, I'd say there's only a week or so until those spaces will be napped up. So speak soon and enjoy using the planets to manifest more goodness in your life, because you definitely deserve it.